We are sponsored by a Korean Tottenham Hotspur fan who wishes for all Koreans and the rest of the world to visit and discover Singapore.
Email Kelly for an introduction to Singapore at jrjinsingapore@gmail.com. That's jrjinsingapore@gmail.com.
What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV outside the Japan National Stadium where Spurs have just done their open training. And I tell you, what a day it's been. It's been overwhelming, the amount of support, people have shown us, the amount of people have come over to us, asked us for selfies, telling us how often they watch the channel. The general support for Tottenham has been overwhelming as well. Just the fans, the singing. It's like even players like Alfie Whiteman and players that are just on the periphery at Spurs are just getting so much love and support, and everyone knows it's just so overwhelming, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's been an unbelievable day, and I have to say, as much as I enjoyed watching Spurs a training session live and having a bit of insight in how Ange Postecoglou likes to set up his training sessions and what he's trying to achieve, I think the highlight of the day is definitely having all these fans coming up and asking for selfies and showing their support for the channel. Really gives you so much enthusiasm, and I'm so thankful. It's unbelievable the amount of support we have out here, and I want to thank every fan who showed their support and asked us for a selfie and told us how much they love watching the channel. Really means a lot to us, so thank you so much. But yeah, it was a really, really interesting day. I think there's a few things we noticed, and yeah, it was really good to see a training session live.
Yeah, in terms of, obviously everyone was there. No Timo Werner, which is important to a note. He wasn't there.
No mention about injury or anything.
No mention of that.
Even Richie was there.
Richarlison came out and obviously got a lot of love from the fans. I mean, Sonny, oh my days. Sonny. Obviously, we all knew Sonny was going to get so much love, but he was the last guy that left that pitch today. I think he must have signed every single person's autograph that wanted one.
Yeah, he knows they're all there for him.
But it's just incredible, isn't it? The amount of love that Sonny has for the fans is just, I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't from a professional footballer.
He's always been so humble in his support and his stardom as well, and that's shown in how he treats the fans with so much respect, and literally stayed out there for what must have been like around an hour after the game. I wouldn't even be surprised outside the ground as well if he was signing autographs, because there was a video yesterday of him outside of the training ground signing autographs. So he's an unbelievable human being, and that's why I'm so proud to have him represent our football club.
Yeah, absolutely. Players who I thought really caught the eye today, I want to mention Dane Scarlett, because I thought Dane Scarlett in a lot of the finishing drills, his finishing looked incredible today. Well, I mean, I've never seen him do a training session, so it's hard to say it's the best, finishing I've seen from him. But definitely, it's harder to do it in a game than it is in training. But I mean, everyone seemed completely on point today.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I have to say, I was comparing him to Lancashire, and because we were right on that side where they were doing their one-on-one finishing, and I noticed that Lancashire definitely likes that drilled finish a lot more and likes to go for power, and obviously that can work, but Dane Scarlett definitely has that little bit of whip on his finishes compared to Lancashire, and he was getting a lot more of them in than Lancashire was. Now that was really, really interesting, and he was really impressive on that front.
Yeah. I want to talk about Manuel Solomon. It did seem though him and Ryan Mason were speaking for quite a while, which you couldn't tell what they were saying, but judging by their gestures and their mannerisms, it did seem like they were having a bit of a back and forth around Manuel's positioning and movement throughout the training.
Yeah, it's hard to say for certain what it was, but they were in conversation for a long time. We got it on video, so if you check out the highlights of the training, which we'll post, you can see they're in, and maybe you can decipher what exactly they're saying. The chat is unmatched usually at deciphering these things. But they were definitely having quite a strong back and forth, I would say, or quite a lengthy back and forth about something. Ryan Mason was definitely trying to hammer home a point to him, and Manuel he seemed receptive to it, but also was giving back a bit and was giving his own point of view. It was quite interesting because it was definitely there was a part of a training session where the players were doing their long shots, and Mason definitely made a point of pulling him aside and having that conversation with him, and it went on for a good 4 or 5 minutes, so it was quite a lengthy one. So it'd be interesting what that was about, and it did seem to be about. That is something I've criticised Manuel about, because he definitely likes the ball to feet, and he doesn't like to run beyond his marker and get in behind, and it's something that's frustrated me about Manuel a bit. So I wonder if, because he did this action like go to like fake to go and then run in behind, and maybe that was what he was saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's what training's about. That's what training's for. They probably would have preferred to do it not in an open training session, in a more closed training session. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I wonder the fact it was public. Was he making a point of doing that publicly, or
I'm not so sure.
I don't know. I wonder.
don't know.
Sometimes people do that.
Maybe.
Knowing it was an open training session.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you have a point, but I'm not going to read too much into it. I think it's hard to read too much into it. We don't know what exactly was said. So, yeah, it's difficult on that front. Sonny was obviously unbelievable in the training session, scoring it seemed like he was scoring every 2 minutes.
He was ridiculous. I know Son's ridiculous finisher, but see it firsthand in training, literally, like you think some finishes are just easy, and then you see like good players we rate, like who are excited about Mikey Moore and things like that, even Bergvall missing some sitters, and you're like, well, okay, like it is just a sitter. But I saw him every time go. I don't think he missed one, and all the finishes were literally excellent, and it just goes to show why he's at elite level. He literally didn't miss a shot.
I think on the Korean channel we're going to have a video going out of, I think it was over an hour of pure unadulterated Heung-min Son, just close-ups of him. Big up to Sammy, who was doing that the whole game, and yeah, just unbelievable work from him, and unbelievable work from Sonny as well throughout the game, throughout the training session. Kulusevski really impressed me today as well, playing in a central role for the most of the training, and he looked really on it. His finishing was on point. I felt his passing as well when they were doing those build-up moves, and I think it was a carry-on from maybe the pre-season games that we have seen so far.
Yeah, and he's really starting to excel in this central role as well. I'm really happy about the way he's looking, and he's looking sharp. He looks great in these tight spaces, and some of his finishes were delightful on his left foot, top corner. Keeper had had no answer to a lot of his shots. So Decky is looking definitely on fire, and a lot of Twitter tacticos are predicting Decky to explode this season, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
I really hope so. But look, it was a great day all round. It was finally good after coming out here, 3-4 days ago now, been to Singapore, now in Japan. It was great to get the pre-season tour really up and running and underway with this open training session.
Is that a storm?
I don't know if that's a storm or that's fireworks or what, but it's very loud, that's for sure. But no, it was great to get things underway.
I don't see any fireworks.
No, neither do I. I don't know what's going on. But we're back here tomorrow for the game. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Big up to everyone that came up to us and showed their support for the channel. So overwhelming. But like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.